Welcome to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast, featuring in-depth interviews with people in hip-hop culture, based out of New England. Leeds. All right, man. How you doing? Busy day?
Yeah, super busy, my dude.
Ready to go on tour?
Yeah. Ready to get these fucking show advances done.
Yeah, did the Middle East ever get back to you?
Yeah, finally.
I'm so sorry, man.
Nah, I talked to him yesterday. It's all good.
Yeah, they're understaffed, I believe.
Yeah, he said it was a crazy week. Or crazy, I don't know, man. I sent him that email.
Isn't it always?
Yeah. I was like, bro, I sent it 2 months ago. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, I know. It's like everyone always like, oh, dude, my day's crazy, my week's crazy. It's like it can always be crazy.
Excuse, bro. I know what that means. It means you just didn't send shit. It's called procrastination, bro.
That's very common in the music business, I've found.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I mean, look, I told you we were going to do this yesterday.
You made that, yeah. I guess that was an oversight, less of a procrastination, though.
Yeah, I totally forgot I had a fucking dentist appointment.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast. We got a very special guest today. We got rapper slash manager or manager slash rapper. I don't know how he addresses
management slash nothing. No,
there's
no rapper.
There was a rapper, and his name is Joe Scudda, but now he goes by Jay Griffin. Is that what it is?
Yeah, my government name, Joe Griffin.
I figured your first name was Joe.
Yeah.
But thanks for making time, man. My boy Peter Parker said he talked to you, and he's like, "Oh, you got to interview Joe." And he says you had a great origin and how you started in hip hop. And he said, just ask him that first. So I'm asking you that first. How did you get in the game? And because he says it's a crazy story, I got to hear it.
I started DJing. I was a DJ first.
Yeah.
And was just doing bullshit house parties or whatever.
Yeah, me too.
And then high as fuck wrecked my dad's car and didn't call the police, so the bill got dropped on me. And he was like, if you can't come up with it was like $2,500. I was like 19 years old. He was like, I'm selling all your shit and you're gonna fix my car. And so of course I didn't come up with it. He sold my shit, which was like turntables, mixers, like 800 records, because this is before Serato, so it's vinyl everywhere. He sold it, and then I was just like, well, fuck, I'm never getting that back. And so I just started writing raps, and was just bullshitting around, had like 2 raps. You know how everybody starts out, they have like the 2. Right. And my buddy was DJing a party at NC State, and it was Beatnuts, De La Soul, and Naughty by Nature. And fucking Tretch was like, yo, anybody want to come up here and freestyle? And all these dudes came up there, and I went up last, and he was like, nah, we got too many people, can't let you go. I was like, fuck. So I turned around. It was just like one of those moments where they were like, I was just like, well, fuck it, dude. So I just turned back around and just started rapping at Tretch, just going. And he was just like, holy shit. So he went back on stage, stopped the show, and was like, yo, we got one more dude. And then I fucking rocked for like 2,000 people. That was my first time ever rapping in front of people, was like 2,000 people. And then that same night, I met Ninth Wonder. And then I just basically started couch surfing at their crib. And that was it. And then just chronologically, you meet Pooh, you meet Tay, and then now I'm a rapper.
Huh. But sorry, can I just try one thing without the earbuds? Can you maybe just not use the earbuds? I think that's why I'm getting a little thing. I just realized that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
How's that?
Much better. There we go. Yeah, I used to use those earbuds for these things. I forgot that can be cause problems.
Okay.
But anyways, is the room fine then, noise wise? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it
So what year was this? I'm sorry, I missed that. What year did you do this? That's rap, this
Mm.
infamous rap?
This might have been when the listening come out, 2003.
Is
Yeah.
that when it was?
I'm tripping. Yeah, it's 20 years. So 2003. This had to be like '02.
Damn.
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
like,
and this was in North Carolina?
yeah, in Raleigh. It was '02. Because when I remember that happened, I met Ninth and he asked me if I rapped. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I make beats. I was like, all right, cool. So he played the beats. And I was like, oh shit, these are dope. He was like, yeah, I'm recording an album. And we have a studio around the corner. My whole frame of reference for that moment was like, oh shit, they're in a studio. Like, I'm just thinking
Yeah.
fucking your baseline or some shit. And you walk
Right.
in the room and it's literally a 1-bedroom apartment. And, and I just remember looking around like, what the fuck, dude? There's no way y'all made that. I think I'd heard he had played Speed and maybe like whatever you say or some shit. And I was like, there's no fucking way y'all made this in this fucking room. But they did.
That was the listening. That was the listening. And they made it in a bedroom.
Yeah.
So you were there like in the whole process of them finishing it up, or were
I
they?
probably came midway through. At most, they had like 70% done. But I do remember like I was there for the skits and then a couple more joints that they had done. So I would say they were probably like 60% done. Maybe not even that much. I can't even really remember.
When you heard it, were you like, did you know that it was going to have the response that it was going to have?
No, I'd be lying if I was
Right.
like, oh, this is gonna. I had no idea. Plus, we're from North Carolina, so like your whole frame of reference for that is like, it's almost like a pipe dream. It was like, okay, this is dope. Y'all made an album, but being from there, you're like, then what? It's probably just similar in Boston, but at least in Boston, you can drive to New York. But in North Carolina, you're like, I don't know how the fuck to do this.
Right. Well, yeah. Because at that time, talk to me about North Carolina. I mean, was there a rap scene? I mean, what besides you guys? I mean, what was it like? Because I'm trying to think of anybody I know from besides you guys from North Carolina at that time that rapped. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Well, Petey Pablo was already out.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Forgot about him.
That's a different
Yeah.
thing. He got with Timberland. You're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But
That's
as
big
far
boy.
as the shit we were doing, there was not a lot of that. But there were a lot of people that rapped, and because in Raleigh you have like there's like 4 or 5 colleges like right there. Then you add in
Right.
Duke and North Carolina. So you get a bunch of people that move down there from New York and all over the place. So it was like a big melting pot of, styles or just different people from other places that brought whatever they were into to Raleigh. But there wasn't really a music scene, not huge. And it was what there was centered around like the Justice League and Little Brother, pretty much.
Right. Who exactly is in the Justice League? The total.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so I'm asking these questions, man.
So
That was
so Little Brother. All right, Phonte, Pooh, Ninth, Doe, Edgar Allan Flo, Comanche, Legacy, Bug, Crisis, Flash, Burvick, Son of Yorel, which was a producer, Centric, which was a producer, and I hope I'm not fucking blanking on anybody.
and you were in it?
No, I wasn't in it. I was like affiliated.
Was it just production or was it rappers and production?
Everything.
Okay, so it's basically the North Carolina collective, basically hip hop collective.
Rappers, production, DJs. Yeah.
I remember seeing the listening coming out. I remember when it came out, like on all the underground blogs and stuff, and everybody made, Questlove, I think, co-signed it early. I think that was how I saw it. Is that
Yeah.
right? Right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
He was the first one because it was on OK Play.
Right. So I was like, oh, who are these guys? And it was like, see like a Southern rap group come out with that style at the time was not usual. You know what I mean? For
No.
me to see that.
Yeah. But also too, like, I mean, it was the era they grew up. Well, we all grew up in. You know what I mean? There wasn't
Right.
anything from North Carolina, and so you just listened to everything. So
Very
as far
East
as
Coast influenced.
East Coast down, I mean, Outcast, even
Right.
West Coast stuff. That's why it kind of sounds like that. So
Right.
you might have like, the beat might be East Coast influence, but then you hear them rapping and you're like, all right, they're definitely from the South. You know what I mean?
Right. So the album, I always felt like it was an album or a mixtape to listening? I felt like it could be either one. Looked at either way.
It was an album.
Was it?
Yeah, you just
Kind
couldn't
of
find it. You couldn't find
these-
it anywhere.
I think that's why I thought it was a mixtape.
Yeah. It was definitely an album. They put it out on ABB Records, which had put out Dilated Peoples.
That was a major?
Fuck no, that was indie.
So first Dilated Peoples then? First album on Dilated? Because I remember Dilated going to a major.
Yeah, Dilated's first was on ABB, if I'm not mistaken, and then they went to a major.
Gotcha. All right,
which
cool.
was the same as Lil Brother. Their first was on ABB, and then they went to Atlanta.
So okay, so now we got the Minstrel Show, which is now on a major label, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how do you end up on their biggest single? Loving it. I mean, if you think about it.
No fucking idea, dude.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I literally, I think I ended up on it because maybe it was, I can't remember. I'm gonna fuck this up. It was some rapper. It was some rapper, whether it was like, and it was a big rapper, whether it was T.I. or somebody was supposed to be on it. And they didn't get on it. So I was just there and they were like, yo, get on this. And almost maybe as a placeholder. And then it was just like, fucking keep it. I was like, all right, cool. And then I remember being in the truck and they were like, yeah, this is going to be the single. And I was just like, fucking what? Like, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, it is like, shouts out to them because I don't know a lot of people that will put, their homie on their lead single of their first major label debut. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what's kind of crazy to me. And you must have been really close with these guys. Like obviously, you still have this relationship, but you must have been family.
We were close, but damn, that's still fucking like. It's not like I had an album out or nothing. It was just like, get on this. And they're like, all right. And then they're like, we're making it a single. I was like, fucking what? And then they're like, and we're shooting a video. I was like, all right, dude, what the fuck is going on right now? That's how it felt. I think it happened for me. It's probably too quick because you're talking about a dude that like just picked up rapping and then met him and then all of a sudden was like, hey, you're on this fucking single. And so I get why, if you ever saw a dude, and I'm throwing myself in this, you ever saw a dude that like hopped on somebody's record or maybe put a song out or a couple songs and everyone was like, holy shit, this dude's like, damn, he's on fire. And then just fizzles out. It's probably because they got fucking thrown in that and they weren't ready for that. It's like I just started rapping, not just started, but like I was just writing raps. You know what I mean? I had no idea, like, as far as, how to make an album. You know what I mean? It's just throwing shit at the wall at that point. And then they're like, hey, you're on this lead single. It's like, oh shit. So it probably happened too quick for me, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, you're quoted saying, in regards to your rap, you have a healthy love for shit talking and fun.
Yeah, that's all I fucking knew. I
So
ain't
that was
going
your
through.
mentality back then?
Yeah, I hadn't gone through. I hadn't. Nothing had really happened. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't gone through shit really, so I didn't really have a lot of shit to talk about.
So you just having fun. Basically, this was like a fun thing you were just kind of learning as you went, but you just happened to get on a huge single by a major label with the,
Bro,
the
I'm
group
telling
that
you, look, man, I'm telling you. Anybody who knows me, you can ask them. I am the king, and I don't know if it's right place, right time, or just I am the king of falling ass backwards into shit. And no matter what it is, just like it just happens. I don't know why. Like I ran a bar. I was running a bar for 10 years.
Yep.
And I got into the bar business falling ass backwards. Cause my homie owned a bar and just called me out of the blue and was like, yo, you wanna come run my bar? And I was like, fucking okay. And my entire life's been that. Is fucking okay.
So is it fair to say that you don't really plan for anything?
Probably so. I'm better now because of 10 years of running a bar. But no, I don't. I'm not a big planning guy. I'm more of just a do. Or
You're
let's
just a
just
fall-
let's see what happens.
Well, let's just fall ass backwards into something and see what happens with that,
Bro, I'm telling you, man, everything is ass backwards into something. And then I turn it into something.
Yeah, I want to definitely talk about the bar because I managed a club for 20 years, but not for 20, but I worked in a club for 20 years. But I want to go back just real quick while we're on the Minstrel Show. So Minstrel Show comes out, single, whatever, boom, boom, boom. You have a lot. Everyone's like, who the hell is Joe Scudda? Myself included.
Right.
I
Probably
actually met you.
Fuck that guy.
No, I didn't say that. First time I met you, probably don't remember. Static Selector introduced me to you outside of Paradise Rock Club. You guys were playing a Boston show.
Yeah, was it with Mercer?
I forget who else was on it, but probably Mercer's, would have been on that probably. But Static comes out, he's like, oh, Leedz, it's Joe Scudda. And I was like, who the hell is Joe Scudda?
Yeah.
And then I figured it out,
I mean, I remember that night. I for sure remember because he was playing me beats in the truck. He had played me, and that was like he had first started making beats.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I've known Static for a long fucking time.
That was then. I think that was probably the tour for the Minstrel Show album. I'm guessing that was
probably was.
So after that happens, do you decide like, hey, maybe I should take my rap career more serious, or you're more like, I'm just gonna fuck around still?
You
did put out 2 mixtapes, right? You did put out 2 mixtapes.
I did put out that. I just had I could not get out of my own head type of person.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So if I would hear something and immediately I hear how I want it structured. Like if I hear a beat, I hear the hook, I see the bars, I see the fucking video, all that shit. And if it didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, trash that shit.
Perfectionist.
Yeah, you would say, yeah, yeah, kind of. And so that would get in my way a lot. And then also, too, like I just started rapping. So I talked to my boy about this the other day. When you're a rapper, the dudes that are winning, or it's like Nipsey when Nipsey put the victory lap out. He had figured out the code, which was his vocal tone, how he wants to rap, what he wants to rap over, and how he wants it to sound. You know what I mean? And he's like locked in and comfortable with that, instead of like chasing a whole bunch of like different, hey, let me try this or try that. Like he knew what he sounded good over and he knew what he didn't sound good over. So he stays away from that. But like once you crack that, and so I was still finding my voice, finding what I sounded good on, what I didn't sound good on. And then I think right at the time where I was like, okay, I've kind of pinpointed it. That's when I quit.
And I'm sure it was you probably felt like you had a lot to live up to with this being on this single too. So there was probably a lot more pressure where this has got to sound, this is what people are thinking, expecting from me. So anything that's might be less than that probably was like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you probably held
There's
yourself to a
definitely-
high expectation.
For sure. And it's not really had nothing to do with the single. It more so to do like, you see what kind of albums Little Brother does and like
Right.
how cohesive it is and how it sounds and how it, all that. So you're like, man, I got to come close to that. But also I didn't have anybody with me in the studio, like producing that. And I need that. As a rapper, I'm one of those, I'm not a go in by myself and make a whole album and then here's the shit. I need that person like pushing me or, hey, let's do it this way. Hey, try this. Because
Right.
I'm cool with all that. I'm not I'm going to do it my way. I just
Right,
never
right.
had anybody in there with me. So I was kind of left up to my own devices. And then also left up to that voice in my head that's like, yeah, that's kind of, that didn't come out right. You know what I mean? When somebody had been there and been like, no, we're keeping that. Fuck off. Like, don't touch
Right.
that. Yeah, that's a lot to do with like what it was.
Well, I noticed your first mixtape had a bunch of different producers on it, but were they just sending you beats, not like really working with you? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Nah. Most of yeah, no, they were just sending stuff.
Right.
Or I would just get stuff.
Right. So you put out these two mixtapes and then you hang it up in 2010. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you could say 10, maybe floundering around till 12, fucking around. You know what I mean? Just like, but I knew it was just like, all right, dude, like, it's over. Find something else.
Right. That something else was managing a bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I fall ass backwards. Right in the moment where I'm like, fuck, man, like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I just get a phone call. And then it was like, all right, well, let me go do that. Cause I was always the, you know, relationship guy anyway. So that's how I fall ass backwards into all this shit. I just build and keep relationships with people. And that's what happened. So when I started managing a bar, it was like, oh, this is the same shit. I just got to manage a bunch of people.
What was the name of the bar? What kind of bar? Like, what was it? Was it a venue or just a bar?
So I ran a college bar in Athens, Georgia for 2 years called On the Rocks. And then we sold that. And then I moved to Atlanta and started running this bar restaurant called Big Sky in Atlanta.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's
Brunch.
a lot of work.
Fucking brunch, dude. Fuck that shit.
So you basically had no personal life, basically, for 8 years.
I haven't had a weekend off unless I was doing something in 10 years.
I started promoting my shows at the Middle East with Little Brothers playing Thursday, and I moved my way up from promoter to talent buyer to senior talent buyer to floor manager to GM. And the Middle East had 3 venues, a restaurant, 2 lounges, 100 employees,
Yeah,
a bar.
I think the most I had was like 70 employees.
And it was a family business, so family politics.
Ooh.
And at the end, I was like, my head's gonna friggin' explode.
It's a grind, man.
Oh, it's beyond a grind. People go to work 40 hours a week. That's a grind.
Yeah.
You're in that business, you're doing 60, if maybe more,
60,
depending on what's going on.
You're dealing with everyone at their fucking worst.
And you're managing people, and you got alcohol, so you're dealing with drunk people, as you know.
Drunk
All
people.
the liability that comes with drunk staff, drunk patrons. It's just wild.
Just staff fucking emotions and fucking all this shit. It's like, yo,
Personal.
are you really having a fucking meltdown in the cooler right now? God fucking damn it. Like, stop crying. I need you. We're slammed. Please get
Right.
behind the bar.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep people and find people. I mean, it's what I always thought my trajectory of my career was from promoter. I always thought that I'd own my own venue someday. That was my thing, right? After doing that for like a couple of years, wasn't my thing anymore. I was like, I don't know.
Dude, I wanted to own a bar or a
Me too,
restaurant,
yeah.
like a small, like dive type
Right.
joint.
Right. No
No
way.
fucking, no way, dude.
No way, dude. No way.
I'd rather light 100,000 on fire.
That's when I learned that being a boss necessarily, or a high manager over that many people, everybody wants to be that, but it's not really worth it, because you got to deal with a lot of people. The stress level is so bad, it drains you, and you got to deal with everybody else's shit. And it's not a great life. You're stressed out all the time. It's
Nah,
not
my
great.
wife was like, yo, you're becoming a massive asshole. And I was
Right.
working only nights. And then I switched over and started working just like Saturday and Sunday morning shifts, like brunch shifts. So I felt better because I actually had some sort of like a life. But now you're dealing with brunch people, and those people fucking suck. Brunch people are the fucking worst, dude.
I never dealt with brunch. Why are
Fuck
they the
that.
worst?
Fuck brunch. Fuck people that fucking, oh, fuck that shit. They suck. And I don't know
Brunch
why.
people suck.
They fucking suck, dude. They fucking don't know how to order eggs. They don't know what shit means. They send shit. It is the worst, bro. And they're waxed off fucking mimosas they've been sipping for 2 hours. It sucks, dude.
Wow, we just killed everybody's dreams of ever getting into the venue or restaurant business or bar
Dude,
business.
if you want to own a brunch spot, go fuck yourself. Fuck no. You might as well just run and go play in traffic.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. It's fucking awful. Just thinking about it right now, I'm like, ugh, fuck no.
I went right up to COVID. Like, I got laid off right before the club was having all this issues, and then I got laid off like 2 months right before COVID, and then it was all done.
Damn, yeah, we made it through COVID. Our owners, they sold it, which is kind of perfect timing for me getting out. But like the owners that I worked for 8 years, like they really took care of us, and that they were dope. Like working for them was dope.
That's
But
good.
it was just like,
That's huge.
yeah, working for them was cool. But yeah, it all worked out. It worked out how it worked out because they sold, and then Tay and Pooh were like, yo, what's up? Like, come on over here. And
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because that's, I actually had booked this Little Brother show right before COVID. We were going to do it, and then COVID wiped it out. And then, I stepped away, and then the Middle East booked it again. I'm glad it happened because great to see the reunion. Like, what made the reunion happen? Can you tell me what made them get back together and want to do this? Besides money?
I mean,
besides money?
Definitely money's not really even the reason. They just they were friends.
Right.
And then they didn't talk, and they built their relationship back up and actually found out who each other was. And they've been friends or back talking for like 3 years before they even dropped Made a Lure Watch. Yep. People just didn't know. And then they just started making the album, and it just kind of like snowballed from there. And it sucks because they were really like back, made the best album, I think, of their careers. And then COVID hits. So it's like, fuck. Right back to square one.
I want to say a funny story. When I booked, who was the manager before you, the tour manager? Was that Doe?
How long ago?
Ooh, this would have been probably like 2006, 2007.
Yeah, Doe.
Big guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I booked them. This is when Phonte just started Foreign Exchange.
Okay.
Right. So it was on tour with Foreign Exchange. I think Pooh was doing a solo set. Might have done a little brother. And then there was a couple other, I think there was some other people in the Justice League were on that tour, like Way Team. Is Way Team in there?
Mm-hmm.
So they did a show. We did a small show at like this small spot called the Milky Way, which was like a bowling alley with like.
I was there. I remember that fucking spot, dude. Because the fucking
don't yell at me,
dude. The fucking World Series was going on at the same goddamn time.
Was it? Yeah, it might have been.
Yes, and it was on all the TVs. So
No one
like,
was watching the
motherfuckers
show.
are performing, and people are like just watching the fucking baseball game.
So I'll tell you the funny story is I was a rookie promoter. This was probably like my 6th show booking it. All right. Like, I'm just getting thrown into this. Right. So I booked the closest hotels to the venue because I was like, told me like book the closest hotels to the venue. Well, I didn't realize the star rating. So it was like 2.5 star.
That
Boston.
hotel fucking sucked.
Yeah. So
that shit was sketchy as fuck, bro. You put us in that shit?
Forgive me.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I just saw 2.5 star. So anyways, Doe calls me up, right? Where the hell is this hotel? This is the Fleabag.
That shit was mad far.
Was it? I thought it was close. I didn't know what I was doing.
Look, it was mad far and sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. I remember that show when you said
I didn't know you were there.
Yeah. I didn't know you said Milky Way. I was like, I don't remember that shit. And then you said bowling alley. And I go, fuck, I remember that shit. Because I just remember everyone was watching the fucking World Series.
Yeah.
And we're literally performing, dude, and people are literally turned around watching the game. I was like, what the fuck? I can't remember if Boston was in it.
Ooh. That is a good question. It sounds like they might have been.
This would have been like 04.
I started in 04, so it would have been. It could have been.
It was 04. Minstrel Show wasn't out yet.
No, it wasn't. And
yeah, this was 04.
And it wasn't really a little brother show. It was foreign exchange.
Yeah, it was a foreign exchange. Yeah, it probably was 04. So were the fucking Red Sox in that shit?
I should know this, but I want to double check.
Because that makes it even. Because I feel like they were. I feel like, or maybe it was a playoff.
Yeah, game. Red Sox World Series 2004.
Who did they play?
Oh man, this is killing me. I should know all this.
The Cardinals?
I'm terrible. I'm gonna lose all my. Yeah, they Detroit. No, that was I think that was the Cardinals swept the Cardinals.
Okay, so yeah.
So we're up against the World Series. Yeah, you're not gonna get anybody watching the show.
Dude, I vividly remember that shit being like, who is the fucking idiot that put this show on the damn fucking World Series when the Red Sox are playing?
Well, see, here's the thing about that, and I've battled Boston sports my whole promoting career. You don't know when the World Series and playoffs are playing when you book a show. It's just like, okay, you book it 2-3 months out. They don't have the World.
I will never. I'm so glad you said that. I will never forget that. I remember.
Wow.
I'm a baseball fan, so
yeah.
Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Bro, this is the World Series, and we're in Boston." I was like, "No one gives a fuck about this show right now."
And it was when we were breaking. It was the first time we won the World Series ever.
Yeah, and I don't. This was.
That was huge because they're cursed.
Yeah, because y'all beat the Yankees.
Yep.
But who? Where's my fucking phone? So this is 2004. Hold on, man. This is bugging me.
No, we're good here. So I'll make sure. Yeah, we swept the Cardinals.
Who did you play in the first round? Was it the Angels?
Now you're gonna really.
Because I think that was
Yeah, we now all my let's see playoffs. 2004 World Series. Not seeing it.
I feel like
Yankees 4-3, 2004 ALCS.
what was
Red
the
Sox
division?
over the Red Sox over the Yankees 4-3.
What was the one before that though? That was the ALCS. What was the division? I feel like that's where we were at because I watched the Yankees back home in Raleigh.
Oh, so you think you were during the playoffs? It would have been just as bad.
Yeah, it didn't matter, but it was the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, because I think you're right because it was October 12th through 20th. I really feel like that show was in October.
Yeah, because I watched the Yankees with my boy in Raleigh. And then I remember watching the Red Sox. Funny enough, the Red Sox and St. Louis was when Boot Camp Click came down to Raleigh and they were
Oh, yeah.
recording. And I
The
remember
Red Sox.
that game was on.
The Red Sox, who had won the AL wild card, defeated the Anaheim Angels in the American League
Boom.
Division Series
I told you it was the Angels, bro.
to reach the ALCS, while the Yankees, who had won the AL East, best defeated the Twins, and then they
Hell
went
yeah.
against them. Then they shout out Peter Parker and the Twins.
Can't remember fucking anything, but I can remember random stupid sports shit. And y'all are playing the Angels. I fucking remember that.
So you're a diehard baseball. So you baseball or you all sports?
Football and baseball.
Those two.
Yeah,
So you full time now that you live in Georgia, are you full time like Georgia fan or like?
I was already that. I moved from Georgia to North Carolina when I was 12.
Okay.
So by the time I got to North Carolina, my dad had already taken us to Georgia games. We had already been to Braves games. So like it was already that. And then you get to North Carolina, I didn't really care about basketball. And then everybody's football up there sucks. They don't have a baseball team. Or they do, it's still Braves. So yeah.
Well, Braves actually were big up here. My grandmother, who lived in upstate New York, used to watch the Braves all the time because Ted Turner would play him on TNT.
Yeah, every fucking day, bro.
So my grandmother was
TNT, and then if you got home from school, you'd always see the Cubs playing on what was that? WGN or some shit like that.
Don't remember that one.
I can't remember.
Because Ted Turner owned the Braves, right? Or
Yeah.
he was in on it?
No, he owned them.
Yeah, so that's my grandmother was like diehard Braves fan.
That's wild.
Yeah, up in New York.
I'm still laughing that I still remember that the fucking Red Sox were playing the fucking Angels during that shit.
You're better than me, and you're from down there.
Yeah, I don't even give a. I just remember it being like, what the fuck, man? This is the most worst timing on the planet.
You can't compete with Boston sports if you got an event up here. Nothing wins.
Not baseball.
Trust me.
Fuck no, dude.
Baseball or the Patriots. The Patriots you ain't compete is even bigger. And
yeah, or the Celtics during the run.
Celtics especially right now. And the Celtics are good. Forget about it.
Are they good this year? I don't watch basketball at all.
Parker says the Celtics best team in the NBA right now. I don't know.
That's wild. I don't know.
But I might be biased.
I couldn't refute it. I don't pay attention.
So you watch college football though, right?
That's it. NFL.
Yeah. Well, because I have an uncle that lives in Alabama. So they do the whole Auburn, was it Auburn versus Alabama State rivalry?
Is he a Bama fan or Auburn fan?
Fuck. I don't know. I want to say Bama.
You have to know.
I'm not that close with him. Honestly, I've only been down there once. I think
you don't even look, trust me, if he's a fucking Bama fan, you fucking know. Because they're gonna be really obnoxious about it.
I don't think he was super obnoxious about it. So what would be the less obnoxious?
He's probably not a Bama fan then.
Okay. Anywho, I went down to visit, and it was like that rivalry was happening.
Oh, really?
And it was damn bigger than the damn Super Bowl.
The
tickets were like $400. Now this is 12 years ago. They're like $400.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was like, and they're like, we don't even give a shit about the NFL at all. It's all about college football.
It's it, dude. And it's such a different, like, going to an NFL game and going to a college football game between rivals. I don't even know that it doesn't compare. I'm not saying that the product on the field isn't better in the NFL, but as an overall experience, going to a heated college game will beat any NFL game other than maybe fuck the Super Bowl. Nothing, because there's no real rivalries in the NFL.
Right, because everybody's paid. It's a
Yeah,
job.
and they move teams and they do all this shit.
Yeah, it's a job. It's more of a job.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I'm sure there are rivalries, but it ain't. Go to an Alabama-Auburn game, go to a Georgia-Florida game, go to a Michigan-Ohio State game, and then tell me that there is a one single NFL matchup that is going to duplicate that. You don't have it.
So that's what it is. That's what makes it great, is the rivalry.
Yeah. Bro, it's college football is the best.
You know, up here it's cool, but it's NFL up here.
Yeah, because you don't have anybody worth a shit.
Oh,
I don't even know if a college
BC.
football...
We got BC. We got
what? BC?
I don't know. I'm the wrong guy, dude. I'm really not the guy. I know Doug Flutie went to BC. They were good for a little bit.
I had a buddy of mine, diehard Georgia fan. He moved. I met him. He moved up to Raleigh. Excuse me. And he went to a BC North Carolina State game that went 2 overtimes and like a last second touchdown in the back of the end zone, game winner, right? And nice. I asked him, I was like, yo, how was the game? And he just like this, he goes, it was cute. And I was just like, holy shit, bro. Like, that's how arrogant, especially people in the South, are about like football.
Yeah, you guys are nuts with the football. I mean, I heard of these like high school stadiums at the size of NFL stadiums.
Oh yeah, dude, you get into Texas, some of those.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, for sure. They're big as BC, easy. Like, how many
that's
people
crazy.
BC hold?
I have no idea.
Probably 50.
Maybe. I think that's the biggest college team we have out here. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Boston, New England is Patriots, Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins. That's New England. You know, that's what we
big hockey guys.
Again, if the Bruins are good.
Yeah, hockey's dope. Hockey's dope. Like, I didn't give a fuck about hockey until you go to a game. You're like, holy shit, this is fire. But
I let people fight on the ice.
Yeah, it's like, also I've had icing explained to me probably 45 times, and I still could not tell you what the fuck it means. I don't fucking know. But it's dope.
I saw you painting. This painting in the back, is that you too?
Yeah, I did that.
When you and I saw you paint some Biggie thing on your IG.
I did that. I paint. I'm making prints for the show. I got these are for Brooklyn.
Oh, cool. Cooley High's on the tour?
Just on the Brooklyn show.
Bummer. Wish they were on Boston. That'd be dope.
This is this will be for the Boston. I'm working on this now. This is for Boston.
Ah, so you do all the merch and the designs as well.
Yep. Only 50 of these will be sold. So don't fuck around. They will sell out.
Damn, limited press. That's the thing now, huh?
Yeah, I got to do it yellow and green for the Celtics.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what I do now. It's like a lot of art shit. I mean, you can see I got all the shit's all over the floors.
So is this like full time for you now, designing and then managing LB?
Yep. Full time that.
Damn.
Not really managing, more so director of operations. because they've been in the game so long. It's like they don't need a manager. But
right. They have connections.
I step in and help out wherever I need to help out, whether it's merch or road managing or taking phone calls, setting things up. So it's good to be back working with the boys.
And how big is the tour? How many cities on this one?
This is just small, four cities.
That's it?
Yeah, for right now.
Good plans on Europe or anything, I'm imagining?
Yeah, I'm sure all that'll fall into place. But right now, the main thing is finishing this documentary up.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a documentary in the works. How long does the footage go back? The whole time?
The whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, they got their first cut, I believe, already. So yeah, that's what after these two shows that are this weekend, it's going to be full time, like getting the doc ready.
Are you doing the video too? Do you do video editing?
Oh, no.
I thought you might do that as well. I figured.
Yeah, no, I do a lot of
something
shit.
You might do.
I definitely do a lot of shit, and I random knowledge about shit, but not that. I don't know how to do that.
So I guess the final question is there ever going to be are they ever going to get back together with Ninth Wonder?
No.
Or a track at least? So it's bad blood there?
No bad blood. Just he's doing that. That ship. I think that ship sailed.
We can't get one track. We can't get one.
Look, man. I guess never say never.
Just one.
I guess you would never say never because I'm also the person that said LB would never get back together, and they did. But that instance, I would pretty much guarantee that's not going to happen. It could have happened. It almost happened, but it's not going to happen.
I don't like that. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I wish the people would just.
Yeah, no, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't think it's not.
Oh, that's good.
It's not like, oh, fuck that dude, or I fucking hate that guy. It's not
good.
one of those things. It's just like, hey, man, we had a moment, and it was great, and that's just what it is now. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, dude, there's fucking. This is how I tell people this when they say this shit. There are people that that you were friends with 20 years ago that you're just not friends with anymore for no reason other than y'all just grew apart, right? If you saw, it's like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, you just don't. It's the same shit. It's just in music. Like, it's not that hard for people to understand. It's like, yo, dude, you grow apart, and that's just what it is. So yeah, I don't think that'll never happen.
Well, I'm glad you didn't grow too far apart from him.
No, we always, me either. We've always been really cool. Me and Tay didn't talk for a little while, but it was never any bad blood there either. It was more of him us doing different things. But nah, we're all closer now than we were 20 years ago.
Yeah, that can happen. That's great.
You get older, you kind of like look at different things. You're like, all right, but we're definitely closer now than we were when we were younger.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to this show. It's been a long time wait coming on this one, especially with the reschedule and COVID and geez, this is years and years of promoting this.
It really is, man. I'm excited to get back up there. Is it fucking cold up there?
Massachusetts. I mean, it's cold compared to Georgia.
Dude, it's like 68 down here.
Yeah, it's not 68 here. It's not 68 here.
So
it'll probably be rainy and cold and windy and all that other good stuff. Oh my God, life is so difficult.
Yeah, this is why I'm gonna have to bring a jacket. Fuck.
You will need a jacket, probably not maybe inside the venue, but on your way to it.
Got you. All right, man.
Well, Joe, thank you, man. And I'll see you Thursday at the show. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast. A very special guest, Joe Scudda. I will talk to you later, brother.
See y'all.
All right.